On the third Monday of January for the past 40 years, the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King is celebrated because of his determination of unity, justice, and peace. This year, the Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson is celebrating it in the Fellowship Covenant Church located in Castle Hill. King was one of the justice advocates who influence exceeded national borders. King, the 26-year-old at the time, held a PhD in theology from Boston University, and while writing his dissertation in 1954, King accepted being the pastor of Montgomery, Alabama's Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. King was one of the founding members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. This was a coalition of black clergy and churches created to pursue nonviolent direct action against segregation.
They may have killed the dreamer, but they did not kill the dream, and we are living history of that dream. As first in these roles, we are a living example of what is possible when people lay the groundwork for the work that we're doing today. They set a legacy. They are shining examples of leadership and role models that we follow today. They killed this man, Dr. King, at the age of 39, but look at the life he lived in 39 years. And I'm so grateful that we can recognize this federal holiday, the only holiday at a national level that's recognized in honor of one man.
In the early 1960s, King and the SCLC organized a series of peaceful rallies against segregated institutions. In May 1963, Birmingham, Alabama Police Commissioner Eugene Bull Connor unleashed police dogs and high-pressure fire hoses on nonviolent demonstrators, many of whom were schoolchildren. The sights terrified the entire nation.
He accepted a life that cost him everything. He was away from his children. He was away from his wife. He had to work in the church and in the community. He was jailed and beaten and stabbed. And Dr. King did not stop. But the issue is that service requires sacrifice and courage and commitment. I think he's such an extraordinary man. I can't imagine that much strain on a 20-year-old, on a 30-year-old. He didn't even get to be 40. And he literally changed the world. I think about his sacrifice, and I realize that mine is very small compared to his. So I try to keep going.
In August, African Americans leaders organized the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in front of an estimated 250,000 civil rights activists assembled at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington. King delivered one of the most powerful speeches in American history. Generations of kids have known heartfelt phrases from King's I Have a Dream speech, in which he prayed for a day when people would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. For instance, Ron Neclero's father, Dr. Emil Neclero, did extensive surgery on Dr. King when he was stabbed in the main artery in Harlem in 1958. Neclero's father wasn't worried about King's skin color because what mattered was saving his life.
I was a little kid, but I knew that he was not a normal person because of the surroundings. And as I got a little older, I realized I was around, and my dad was close friends with arguably the greatest American that ever lived. And when I got older, the adulation felt great, but the haters, why did your father say that and would use the N-word? That hurt me, because if you're a doctor and you have a patient that might not make it, your job is to try to save that person's life. So when you start putting hate into that used to bother me, because I believe that my father did something great. And I know Dr. King was unbelievable.
With the enactment of the Civil Rights Law, King maintained his nonviolent and social protest approach, even as some younger activists advocated for some more radical techniques. King also widened his agenda to include initiatives to raise awareness of African American poverty. King died upholding his ideals. On the week of his passing, King had been in Memphis to organize a protest march in support of the city's striking sanitation workers. In 1994, the United States Congress declared the King holiday a national holiday of service, encouraging Americans from all walks of life to contribute their time and effort on that day to help realize King's goal of a beloved community. Reporting for BronxNet, Nicole Rosado.